executive director of the Mothers Over Murder program.
I'm trying my best just to let it go. I'm throwing my soul out the window. Can you meet me halfway? I pray that you take away the struggle and the pain.
With Mothers Over Murder, how did you get into the program?
My son was killed in December of 2014. Mm-hmm. And I came to Mothers Over Murder in 2015 in about October or November.
Okay.
I had to find something to do. When my son got killed, it was like, of course, unexpected.
Right.
He was shot 6 times.
Wow.
And I went through the being mad at God, being mad at the world, and you took my son, I gotta take your son, and suicidal thoughts.
I'm sure.
I can't tell you how many times I went over the Jefferson Street Bridge thinking, but God knows I don't do pain, and I had an expedition, and he told me, no, you don't want to hit that guardrail because you just gonna bounce off the other one and you just gonna be hurt. So.
Right.
But then I had to just ask him, okay, what am I supposed to do? That's why he was the baby boy. I have 2 kids. Okay. And his sister's older than him. So I had them too, and I was like, it was just so unexpected. Now, I live in a perfect world, you know, by myself, and it never would have dawned on me that my son would be murdered. So they was having an activity regarding the violence that's going on in the city. So I said, I'm gonna come by there because it is a lot going on,
especially in our city.
Yes. So I said, I'm gonna come by there, and I had been talking to the CEO of the program, Clemmy Greenlee. I had just so happened been talking to her on the phone, but I never met her. So when I came here not even knowing that this was the place where I was talking to her. So when I came in, and they had just told her that, you know, that I would be there. I felt so welcome. I came in and she was like, who is Stacy Hall? I'm like, me.
So you were scared?
Yeah, I was like, who is, and I'm like, who is she? Right. And then she told me who she was, and then I didn't do grief counseling. I didn't take any, you know, pills or medication or nothing like that. I say Mothers Over Murder is a support group, a support group and an action group. But, you know, on the support side of it, it's because we're a group of women that know exactly how we feel, and we understand our feelings. And we do have some mothers that are with the group that just don't want it to be them.
What you mean by that?
Well, we have mothers that just there for support.
Okay. But so they haven't lost a child.
They haven't lost a child.
I mean, I can totally understand it, being a woman myself and having a son, but women, we go through a lot. So sometimes you don't want to go outside of your comfort zone, but sometimes you need that because you never know what somebody's going through. So that's why, me personally, you know, I like the fact that I can be like kind of a mentor to younger women, because I done been through some things myself. Right. So if we can all like just speak on our lives, you can help somebody. Right. So I understand why other mothers, well, women want to come to this support group.
And that's what I like too, because we'll use the expression, you don't want that bullet to hit your door. And I can say that because that's what happened. And when I say that, I mean, we wait in Nashville, in society, we wait until things happen to us. I waited until things happened to me before I got involved. And I'm trying to get out here and let people know, don't let that bullet hit your door, because that's a whole different, that's one knock that you do not want to get. I wouldn't wish that for my worst enemy. You know, even to the, you know, because at first, you know, it was like, yeah, you took my son, I'm going to take somebody else.
Because you feel like that, I'm sure, because this is your child. And just to, because, you know, I have a 12-year-old son, so just the thought of somebody taking my baby life, you know, I don't know how I react, but I know I'm going to come like, I'm going to try to get your ass back, basically. That's just me, because I'm overprotective of my baby. Right. So I understand exactly where you're coming from, you know, but it's just in my mind, just not having your child, period.
Right. It's hard.
It's so hard. You know what I'm saying?
I had to go back, and I had to step back and remember he wasn't mine to begin with. He was
When I
God's.
get that
So
place.
then I had to get to the point where I had to, thank God for giving me 22 years. When we have people, kids are dying at 14, 12, 7. I had 22 years. So I'm like,
Right.
I'm like, I had to, and it didn't happen overnight.
Oh,
It took
trust me,
years.
I already know.
It didn't happen overnight, and that's why I go and I speak to these ladies who have lost kids and who have not lost kids, because it's something missing. I'm like, what happened? Because even like today, it is so much killing, so much gun violence, that when I think back to when I was little, what happened? I mean, is it the good start? What happened to change? And then they thinking that it's okay.
Yeah, a lot these young kids coming up
think
thinking that's the life to be, and that's not.
And it's not, because I don't think they realize that the circumstances, for one, even being, because D'Anthony's death was gang related.
Okay.
So even being involved in a gang, I don't think people realize how your actions can affect the rest of the people in your family, your mother, your father,
Right.
and even looking on the other side, because I've spoken to mothers where their child has been accused of the killing.
Okay.
Their child has actually done the killing, and of course their loss is not as great, but
It's
it is
still
a
a
loss. It is a loss. And then you doing this, you shooting and you killing somebody, you messing with somebody, it's gonna go like this, back and forth, because then now somebody's looking for you, your family
Retaliation.
members.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that'll never
And
stop.
It'll never stop. And I don't think people get the gist of, I'm finna go out here and he got me messed up and I'm finna do this.
They don't.
But then if
They're not
they don't realize that if they can't get to you,
And get to your family.
they're gonna get to your family.
Because they know that's going to hurt them. You know what I'm saying? And people coming up today, they just don't care. They're not thinking. And that's the root of the issue.
They're not thinking. And then I myself, because like I said, my motto is change that negative into a positive. I think that somehow, some way in society, we gotta start holding everybody accountable. Because I hear people, talking about, oh, they lived in the projects and da-da-da. I didn't, but my son was murdered. I did not grow up in the projects. I had never been to the project until I was 16 years old. But I also say, it's not where you live, it's how you live. You know what I'm saying?
And that's exactly my motto too.
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying? I live there. You know what I'm saying? But like I tell everybody, I may live there, but that don't justify how I raise my child.
Exactly.
It's about how he's being brought up.
Right, exactly.
What I instill in him.
Right.
But crime can happen anywhere. That's what people fail to realize.
Yes.
I don't care if you out here like in a top-notch community. You can get gunned down just easy.
They just got the money to hide it, man.
Exactly, yeah.
It happens everywhere. It's just some communities have money to be able to hide what's going on. Where it's how we brought up, what goes on in our house stays in our house.
You're right.
They got money to say what goes on in our community stays in our community. And it's like, when I say everybody's held accountable, if you think about it, Mandy, at least 8 hours of the day, in the 12-hour day, our kids are somewhere else.
Right. While we at work.
School. We gotta hold these teachers accountable.
You're right.
We gotta hold, everybody is held accountable. I remember one time my daughter, she was, I forgot what school it was. The lady had told her, "You've been bad." And it didn't focus on her. She had a bad day the rest of the day, because instead of her saying, well, yesterday you was out of line, come to find out that's exactly what it was. You was not in line when you were supposed to be. You was out of line. So no, today you cannot be hall monitored. She told her she'd been bad.
So that just messed up her whole
That
day.
messed up her whole
Instead of
day.
basically just explaining what she did.
We have, like going back to the project, they saying, project kids. Our kids not project kids, they school kids. And we gotta hold these teachers, but they not getting paid enough. Okay, I understand that, but you chose that profession.
Yeah, you're right. Like we all choose our profession.
Yeah, you chose to do that. You chose to do that, and then it's like most of the day they're with them. Everybody needs to be held accountable. They need to start. I know, like when at the college I used to teach at, not teach at, work at. I thought it was first when I started there. I thought, well, why do they do that? The teachers have to show their work, show where the kids are passing, because we're paying you to teach these kids this. This is how they was thinking. And if we have a bunch of kids not passing your class, we need to evaluate you.
And that's good.
We need to start evaluating everybody.
Yeah.
We need
And that's
to
how it
start-
should be everywhere,
Right.
because a lot of kids, they just pass them along and don't even care.
And I think back on my son's murder, I think the best thing about him being murdered was that it wasn't in Davidson County.
What county was it in?
It was in Sumner County. It was in Gallatin, Tennessee, Bethpage. And they was on it. I hear stories, that what made me bring it up, I hear stories where the mothers are like, well, the detective told me it's going to be hard. We're not going to be able to do this. This is going to be a hard case to solve. And when they say that, I'm looking, guess what them guys told me? In Sumner County, little small city. We're going to find these guys who killed your son. Spoke it into existence. My son was killed in December. They made the first arrest 2 months later.
Wow.
2
So
months
when you
later.
say the first arrest, how many people were involved in his murder?
4.
Wow.
4. And again, like I said, it was gang related. He was a member of the Gangster Disciples.
Okay.
And I knew, but I didn't know. You know, like when I really found out, you know, he had grown, so you know.
Right.
But he was a member of the group that's supposed to be growth and development. You know, they supposed to be about family. But what these kids need to understand is when they're about family, they mean that family.
The gang family.
The gang family.
Not just gang,
not
family,
your
family.
family. They want you and they expect you, I guess, to go against your family. Because there was a situation where D'Anthony had to talk to the police for my cousin. It was against their code. So even everybody was like, well, that's family. That's family. No, you don't talk to the police. So that's family. So they took D to this secluded place in Gallatin. D thought I used the thing, he thought he was with his dogs.
Like his homies.
His homies,
People he
his
could
dogs,
trust.
DAWG.
Okay.
But they shot him 6 times and left him on the side of the road like a dog, DOG.
Wow.
It wasn't none but big land and horses. That's how the man found him, because he thought that somebody was shooting at his horses, and when he went down there to check, they seen D'Anthony's body.
I mean,
Just left
just in my mind, you know what I'm saying? That just tears me up, because it's like these supposed to be your people. You know what I'm saying?
And I knew when they told me, you know, that D was killed up there, and I'm like, okay, we don't have any family up there. You know what I'm saying? My niece lives up there, but D didn't even know where she lived at. So what is he doing in Gallatin?
So basically, they already knew what they was gonna do before they got there.
Exactly.
So it was premeditated.
Premeditated. That's what they
Because you
was
take them all the
charged
way basically in Gallatin, because
Yeah.
you're from Nashville.
Exactly.
You went there because you didn't expect
Anybody
for somebody
to find
him.
him. Yeah. So
Crazy.
when they took him up there and they killed him, I knew that it was gonna be somebody that he knew, because D hung out. You know what I'm saying? He did hang out. But the one thing about D hanging out, he hung with the same people. You can say if he not over his mama house, he over his baby mama house. If he not with his baby mama, he with these people. If he not right there on that street, then he right there. And that's it, and that's all. You knew. And he hung. If I was to pull up in the car with you, he'd be, Mama, what's that?
Right, because he knows your every move.
Yeah. And then he was like clockwork. It was like the no new friends thing. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? If he seen somebody with me that he didn't know, he's like, Mama, where you met them at? I'm like, I'm grown. You know,
Right.
so, but we knew from the beginning that it was going to be somebody that he knew. And all these guys, they thought, was his friends. They came to the funeral, girl.
Wow.
Hugged me.
Goodness. I mean,
Hugged me.
so let me go back to that day. So when you're at the funeral, they come to you. You knew he had to be somebody he knew, right?
Right.
But you just didn't know who
it was.
So when they made that first arrest, like, what was your thoughts when you actually got the news? Okay, it's him.
Listen, okay. What happened was, at the funeral, I don't exactly remember if it was the funeral or the graveside. I won't say this, the graveside. This man came up to me, tall. I just remembered it, and I could remember his face a little bit. He came up to me and he hugged me. And I didn't remember at the time, but it was a connection word. It was either mama or sister. But he hugged me and he was like, it's gonna be okay, mama or sister, whatever it was that he said. But I say God saw fit for me to look dead up in his face. I looked up and I remember me thinking, who are you? So I kept that. Then another guy, but no, before this, I did not know any of them. I didn't know them.
Oh, so before all this,
I didn't
you
know
didn't
who
come
they
in
were.
contact with any of them?
No.
Oh,
One of
okay.
the guys, me and his honor real close, but it was like I seen him in passing, and I didn't
Okay.
realize that it was him that they had arrested until she contacted me. But when we got to the graveside, I'm walking up. One of the guys, he like zeroed in on me, and I zeroed in on him. And I'm thinking, why are you looking at me like that? You know? But that was me, you know, God saying, this is a face you're going to remember.
Basically just
And this is
pointing.
what, yeah. So, because it was really crazy, because I never forget.
Wow.
So when they called me, and Sumner County is the bomb, because when I tell you, which I can say that's the difference between Davidson County and Sumner County, if they know what they know, they can get, instead of getting warrants for their arrest for murder, with warrants, what can you do? Find out.
Right.
With indictments, you got to stay there. So they telling me, you know, in January, you know, we know who these guys are. I'm like, well, why y'all ain't picked them up yet? They waited on the grand jury to meet. So they were held there until they was able to, until trial.
Okay.
They was had no bond at all.
Okay.
So he told me, he said, well, we're going to be making an arrest in February. I was like, okay. Only thing I want you to do is notify me first. Do not take it, you know, I don't want to hear about the arrest on the news.
Gotcha.
Notify me first. It was February, I was at work and my phone was rung and it said detective. And then I looked at the calendar and I'm thinking, and it scared me, and it was like I had to tell myself, answer the phone. So I answered it and he was like, you're not gonna believe this, Mindy. He was like, we made some arrests this morning. I'm gonna call you back in a couple of hours and tell you who it is. I was like, did he just say that? So now I'm at work like, now I'm really
you can't
waiting.
even think, you know what I'm saying? I really be.
I'm like, oh my God. So he called back and he gave me the names. Had no idea who these guys was. No idea whatsoever.
Okay.
So then at the trial, because I had 2 separate trials, at the trial, the guy who hugged me, he was the one who actually initiated the hit. Okay, he the one who told them to do it. He the one who led them to Gallatin to do this. Because they had never went to Gallatin. They had evidence that he was the one who, they didn't know how they had phone records. And I didn't know that they could get phone records of a conversation without you recording it. So, like, you know how we talked on the phone earlier?
So they basically subpoenaed the court, the phone companies.
They had subpoenaed everybody.
Wow.
So they had records showing that he the one who led. They had to call him to see what exit to get our phone. They had to call and meet up with him. They followed him to the place. He took them, and they had all of that. So
I mean, just going back, that's just crazy for, like, basically everyone's phone conversation can be recorded. That's just mind blowing.
It was, because it's like, you know how we talk, that's what I was going to say, how we talked earlier this week. If something was to happen, they could get, like, they could get the whole conversation, the time, and I'm like, technology. That's why people call me now with some crazy stuff. I'm like, get off my phone.
That is
Don't
crazy.
text me nothing crazy, even though you're deleting it, because I'm like,
because it's still on the network system.
They have it. They have it. They kept my phone for about 2 months.
Wow.
They kept my phone for about 2 months. They had made arrests and I still didn't have my phone.
Wow.
So yeah.
So the one that hugged you was the one behind everything.
And it was crazy. And that was the second trial. So in the second trial, I got sick. Now note that this is the second time that I'm seeing these pictures, because I guess I watched too much TV, but not enough TV, because they like calling me talking about, do you want to come and look at the photos? I'm like, what photo? These was actual crime scene photos.
Of your son?
Yes. Laying there, blood, all of that. So, but this was the second time me seeing this man. Because I'm thinking, I did it the first time. Like when they did the jury selection, and he was in there, I went in there, I was like, hyperventilating. So I had to leave out. I told the lady, I said, I don't know how this is going to go, because something just don't feel right in there. They done had to call an ambulance and everything. Blood pressure went up, and I was literally sick in there. And that was just my message. To me, that's the one who they need to get. That was the one. Because I heard somebody who child was killed. They said they ain't got a problem with the person who killed their child. They got a problem with the person who gave them the gun to kill their child. So it was like, I was sick. He was the one who told them to do all of this. So when he's in there, his hair long now. When I seen him, his hair was short.
Okay.
So I'm in there and I'm like, he's sitting down. When he stood up, the other guys was like my height. So I'm like, who was that who hugged me? Mindy, when he stood up and I seen this man about 6'3", I was saying to myself, was that the boy that hugged me? Wow. So then they showed his interrogation with his short haircut.
And it all came back to
I was like, I want to just run up and be like, what, really? Because it's written. It's written. When we're born, the death day.
Yes.
But I said it wasn't written nowhere that they were supposed to be at my son's funeral. Let's know hugging on me. And that's what, I don't know if you've seen on Facebook, after my son's funeral, that's when people say, they start that little thing that said, something like, you see people set you up to be cute and hug your mama at the funeral.
No, I ain't seen that.
Oh man, it's awful. And I was tagged in it so many times. I had closed my page. I was like, what? Who was it? What is it? What is it? I'm like, no. So, but it was, they had came to the funeral. That guy, he actually, Sumner County plays no game. They sentenced him to first degree murder.
Oh wow, good.
And found him guilty and gave him life. All at the same time. You know how you think, I'm thinking, okay, I gotta come back next week and they gonna do the sentencing because they did, because I was like, wait, that's a bit much in 5 minutes. Because the first trial, I'm gonna go ahead and go back there. The first trial, who was the actual shooter, not guilty.
Hold up, what? Why was he not found not guilty when he's the one who actually shot and killed him?
And what made it so bad was that in the second trial, when they talked about what happened, they kept identifying him as the shooter. That's why I'm like, wait a minute, we done had this trial, so why y'all keep identifying him? They, even at the second trial, the defendant's attorney and the district attorney kept identifying this guy who the jury found not guilty. They found him not guilty.
So you mean to tell me, so he's out now?
He got out 2 days later. He been out since September.
Are you shitting me?
No.
Well, hold on. I don't understand that.
I don't either.
How the hell can you sentence this man who organized the whole thing
To life.
and the minute they actually killed my son is set free.
Exactly.
What the fuck is going on?
Exactly.
No, you know what? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
See, my emotions coming out now. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's totally fucked
It
up to
was
me.
like
Oh my God.
my son was killed twice to me.
Yeah.
Hearing that not guilty verdict was worse than finding out my son was killed. It
Yes.
was like, it was all in me, the hurt. It was,
So what happened to the other two?
one of them, he's out.
I'm not, you know what? I'm sorry, but I'm not understanding.
Last
all
time I
these
checked,
people.
I'm going to tell you, this is what you're thinking. If me and you are somewhere and I kill somebody, and then we go on, you know I killed somebody, and we go on about our day, our months. When they find out, me and you both supposed to go to jail and be in prison for that murder.
Right. Oh, okay. I see that. I mean, I can get that gist of it, but the one that actually pulled the trigger is out free. Like he never killed nobody.